Hello, good morning and welcome back to Schwaadeheim. So it's a cold morning, the mountains are snowy, the trees are snowy, the grass is frozen, and would you look at that? Even the doors have a frost. Even doors have frost on them. So today we are going to be preparing our fields for planting the sunflowers. I'm gonna take the John Deere because it's our strongest tractor. We don't have any products to sell. And I'm gonna hook up a plow. But first I am going to check if I actually need to plow the fields. I probably do, but if not, I'm just gonna hook up the cultivator. So let me quickly look. So we have field 103. And where does it say if it needs plowing? Okay, so under here maybe. It doesn't need plowing. Okay, that means I'm gonna take the cultivator and I'm gonna go and put some cultivation in those fields. And if I have any time left, I will fill the garden with everything it needs. So fill up the water, fill up with solid fertilizer. I will leave a bag or two for the planting in the spring, but yeah. And of course I left the tractor in the way. I should wash it, but at temperatures like this I won't, because the water could get into the joints, into moving parts, and then if it freezes it can expand and damage your seals and everything. So yeah, it's not, if you don't have it, if you don't have your equipment on heated ground in heated rooms, it's not recommendable to be doing too much washing in the winter. Alright, this is a heavy. Can I fold it? I can't. Okay, so I have to be very careful going down the road. Okay, we're through. So yeah, it is a pristine morning, but cold. Yep, that is a very wide implement. I love these frost or frosty textures, and even the mountains. I was looking at some fields to buy for grass production for the next year, but if it's 40,000 pounds or less, you actually get a very small field, which would not really solve our problems. But if you want a bigger field, the price quickly goes to a very high amount. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do that, but we may be looking at a loan or something. Or maybe simply list the field have it for the summer, do 2 harvests on, and then dissolve that lease. That also is an option. Okay, so the ground is not frozen too much, so it looks like we won't be having any trouble cultivating these fields. So this is our first field cultivated. I will not be showing you the rest because you know, you have seen one, you have seen all. So I do the center first, then go around the headlands, because I think this is what real farmers do. Otherwise you can't really get a nice edge of the field. And I love the animation of the soil and these cultivators and plows of you can actually see the soil turning around. They really nailed it in this Farming Simulator 22. And this is it. This is the first field cultivated. It looks really good. So the pH is still good. We may add it. We may add some lime to it to improve, but it won't need very much. On the other hand, the nitrogen is going to be added straight while planting the sunflowers, which are going to be planted here. So yeah, I will be back when I'm done with this field and move on to the field 103. Okay, so for the headland pass, this field was not too tricky to do. It has a nice little runoff over here where you can turn around easily. And here are beehives. Yeah, so if I talk a bit about the bees, they do spend their winter in the hives. I was talking with a friend of mine who is a beekeeper, a hobbyist, but still he has a few bee families. But yeah, and I asked him what about the winter and the cold, and he said that he gives them sugar water to feed them, and that he just closes the hive off so the air is not leaking out and it retains the heat, and the bees have a constant temperature about 30 to 35 degrees Celsius in the hive. because they are moving constantly, they are rubbing their wings and they are rubbing their bodies against each other, and that creates the heat in the hive. So yeah, they have it pretty nice and toasty in there during the winters, which was a fascinating piece of information. Because I assumed the bees just die off during the winter and that the eggs hatch in the spring for another colony, or yeah, I think I'm getting the right words, but yeah, it did sound very fascinating to me. Okay, these two fields are done. Soil looks pretty good. So I'm gonna move to the last field we have to cultivate. And it's gonna be just down the road. Have to be mindful of the traffic. Yeah, in the previous episode I did make a pretty good stink over here. I remembered when I saw the house over there. That was funny. In my country, when you can only spread slurry or manure right before the rain. So if there is a forecast of the rain, then you can go and spread slurry and manure on your fields. Otherwise you are not allowed to, because the rain washes down the stinky substance. It doesn't have that much. Yeah, that's one interesting piece of information. I'm not sure how that is solved or regulated in other countries, but here in my country we have that. Alright, and I'll be back when I'm done. For these last rows, I am just reversing back over the field and then cultivate over. It's not worth turning around for every inch. And I don't have to worry about the soil compaction because I do cultivate over, so it gets turned over and it breaks up all the clumps that stick together. So one last pass on the headland. Okay, I need to fix this little piece. It's too far and it won't reach. So for the headland pass. And here we go. Finishing the field 103. Winter is the perfect time to be preparing fields because you don't have much of other work to do. You don't have grass work, for example, and yeah, this really comes in handy because if you can prepare the fields so you simply go out and sow them, it really takes a headache away. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I'm very happy how these 3 fields turned out. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, field 103 is done. Great. Now I have to get back to the farm. I won't be washing equipment for the reason I have stated before, because the water can get into joints and into seals, and if it freezes it may expand and damage your equipment. So yeah, the dirt is just gonna stay on the tractor and on the cultivator. Well, see you back at the farm. We still have some work to do there. Returning back to the yard. I will try to reverse this in, so we are better set up to unhook it over there at the wall. Oh, we are not better better suited up. Okay, take 2. Have to get it more square. It just barely fits through the door. Alright, I think I will put this tractor over here. Turn the beacons off and roll down the gates. And I will take the Steyr because I believe that our calves do need some TMR. Let me check. Yeah, they do still have some in the trough, but not too much. The lambs are good. They still have half capacity and they are getting closer to being grown up. The chickens also still have enough, and this is all the animals we have. So yeah, the price is going up pretty nicely because we bought calves for 300 apiece, and the males and the females were 100 apiece. So yeah, that looks to be quite a good price increase. But anyway, I will take the feeding wagon and I will put some TMR, because I think we have around 60,000 liters of TMR ready to be fed to cows. It's in the silo. And this little tractor is a better way to transport it because it's smaller and more nimble. And let me see, this should be perfect, yes. No silage, no mineral feed, no. Yeah, 66,000 liters. Let me turn on the mixing. And we have discharge on the left, so I have to go around or reverse in, but it's easier to go around. And as you may have noticed, the mountains have thawed. the sun hit them and the snow and the frost went away. Also the frost and our grass went away, so yeah. It's not a very terrible winter. So the previous day we had full straw capacity, and it looks like they use around, I don't know, 10-15% per day. But this rate will go up when the animals are getting older. And yeah, with those noses. Beautiful animals. Okay, so that did add some, but nothing too much. So I will add a couple of more wagons, and the next thing will be filling the garden with water, and I think that will be it for today. We still have one more winter episode, and I just remembered something. Let me check. What is the best time to be emptying, to be selling the oil we have produced or are producing still? I think the sunflower oil is still being produced. So while this is filling, let me check. We have sunflower oil is still going up. So the best price is February. No, March. March is the best price. Okay, sunflower can wait. And we have missed the best price for canola oil. It's already half of its way down. Well, not really, but it's here. We're in January. So what is the price of canola oil? Current price 4,900. And it could be almost 1,000 pounds more per 1,000 liters. Well, that's a shame. That means I have to wait a whole another year. How did I miss that? That is really unfortunate. Because I could use that money for buying a grass field or expanding my fleet of vehicles, because I will need a few more pieces of equipment. It was November and we're January. What was I looking at? Oh well, sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. And I have now learned that I need to check the prices more regularly. It was November. That's 2 months ago. Even December would be pretty good. So sunflowers are going to be best in March. Oh, okay. Gotta be careful for that. Alright, so 2 more trailers were lumped into the feeding trough. And we still have 30,000 liters in the silo over here. So we are good for some time with the feed. And now I will tend to the garden to prep it for the spring. We will restart production in March. So we're in January right now, and March is going to be a month that gets warm enough so we can restart the open garden. And if I can prepare everything beforehand, that would be grand, because I will have very little time and so much to do in the spring. So yeah, I do want to make life as easy for me as I possibly can. Okay, this Steyr tractor is really feeling the weight. It is 6 tons of water, you know, and the trailer and the tractor, so it has every right to feel the weight. Let me check the garden. So water, we're gonna have quite a lot of trailer loads of water. So 10,000 liters, and it's over here. We will fill it all the way up. And I think that will be it for this episode. I will continue refilling the garden, and that is going to be all for today. Thank you for watching, and I wish everything good for you. And see you in the next time. Bye bye.